Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of the Autistic SuperBlog's The Hot Take. This one's going to be one of my more interesting movie reviews because I feel like it's something that we all deal with inside. As you may have heard, this is a movie review about the sequel to the 2016 or 2010s movie known as Inside Out, known as Inside Out 2. Um, and I've got to say, it was very well done. Um, I won't mention any spoilers, but there's a lot of things you can understand when it comes to watching some of these movies. I mean, there's a lot of little things that you may notice. But I mean, inside um, the main character is just hit puberty, and the individ and the people inside her head, the characters inside her head, like joy, anger, disgust, sadness, have all come into their owns. They've all come into their roles. They've kind of like explained how they work together, and they've got a great dynamic. All that comes up when, as I mentioned before, puberty hits, as it does for all of us, and there's a lot of things that change from when we're kids to preteens, now to being teens and dealing with puberty. And I know it's a sensitive subject, but still, I just want to make sure that this is out there from the start. Um, I mean, it was as with all of Pixar movies, it was a really well done masterpiece, in my opinion, because it gave you peer pressure. It gave you it gave you peer pressure. It gave you insecurity. And in another word, it did come with anxiety, figuratively and literally. A new There have been new characters in within Inside Out. Um, there was one that I won't mention for spoilers, but one got me, and there was a lot of tongue in cheek stuff, like with there was innuendos, not innuendos, but more like nostalgia in a way of not only one of the characters being named Nostalgia and being locked away until they're much, much, much older, but there was a lot of nostalgia for people from the '90s, people from 2010s, and even people in the 1980 that grew up in the 1980s. People like myself who got the references, and it was just really a really well crafted masterpiece. And I feel like there's a lot of I'll mention anxiety because I mentioned her before. Um, Being a teen and dealing with anxiety, it's tough. It really is tough. It can feel like a whirlwind of emotions. And as someone on the spectrum, as you all know, I deal with anxiety myself, and it really kind of gets overwhelming at times. And it's really something to really like get into, and really like it can really rob you of your other emotions, especially joy. That you can't see anything right in the things that go right or the things that go wrong, and sometimes it just feels like everything is not going well, and you deal with embarrassment, you deal with sadness, of course, and you feel like everything you're doing is wrong, and it really, I mean, I know I'm gonna keep saying this, but it was a well crafted movie. Inside Out 2 was, and it really gave like some of the nuances to not only anxiety, but also to how joy can influence anxiety, and how joy can feel fleeting when you're dealing with a new experience that you've never dealt with before. And it was really something to see. I mean, really great to see Riley grow literally from the inside out. I mean, with the story of Riley um, dealing with new people, dealing with new experiences, dealing with new friends or old friends, um, having to balance that out with what she's dealing with and wanting to be the best at everything. Um, and there was one part of the movie that I really enjoyed. It was near the end, when Riley dealt with her first anxiety attack. And as someone who's on the spectrum, and I made it clear, I know, I feel like I know a lot about anxiety, and it's easy for someone to to, to, to think that you're okay, to think that everything is going to be okay, even when you're feeling anxious about meeting new friends and dealing with people that you um dealing with people that you admired from afar. And I'll make one except I'll make one thing right now. Um, the poetic godfather of the Hudson Valley, Mikhail Horowitz. I always felt like before I got to know him as a friend, that I always felt like I was on the outside looking in. That I felt like he's this Hall of Famer, and he is when it comes to poetry, at least to me. And here I am, the new kid on the block, and he's reaching out to me, and he's supporting me, and it kind of makes me feel like I've got imposter syndrome, and it really makes me feel like I've had anxiety before, and I deal with social anxiety too, even at my job. Um, I like I said, I have a script of things that I always like to say, and the minute that that script gets put off the rails, it can derail me sometimes, and it kind of makes me have almost like a deer in the headlights look, and it really kind of made me realize just how important having connections are and knowing who you really are inside. Um, and it was I know I'm trying to be intentionally vague because I don't want to bring any spoilers, but there's one part at the end of the there's one part near the end of the movie where anxiety runs rampant, as it does for all of us, and Joy's there to let us know that even though we could think of every other possibility, we have to be able to let things happen the way that they're going to happen. Let the chips fall as they may, as they were. And it was really something to see. And I give kudos to all the characters that were in Inside Out too. It was really well done. And I know I'm being intentionally vague because I do not want to give any spoilers out there. So I want to be able to make sure that if you get a chance to see it, please, please, please do not hesitate. Please go out and see it. It's a really wonderful movie, and it might impact you the same way it impacted me. Again, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe um, to the Autistic Super channel here on YouTube. And you can check out me on Facebook, X, all that good stuff, um, and Instagram too. And if you like all these videos, please, please, please check me out here on the AutisticSuperBlog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong. See you all at the movies, and as always, shine on.